Legacy is built afterward. When the world clocks out and you don't. The uniform comes off the body, but not the mind. Dinner's over, voices fade, responsibility stays behind. The house exhales, the lights go low, the phone finally rests. That's when the real shift starts. No one ever sees afterward. Afterward, legacy is built afterward. In hours nobody claims. When you fix what's on applaud and carry quiet names. Legacy is built afterward, not in trophies or tall, but in choosing the long way home when walking would be easier to walk away. Low piano notes, slow guitar swells, deep bass pulse, room hums 60-90 seconds. It's checking doors twice, turning lights off slow. It's planning years ahead while letting comfort go. It's learning how to say no to there's a you that wants the easy exit instead of what is true. No one claps. Legacy is built afterward, in patience and restraint, in promises kept quietly, in pressure you don't paint. Legacy is built afterward, when quitting looks kind, but staying shapes a future you may never see in time. Until the last how it happened, how the ground stayed firm. They won't know the nights you chose to burn. They'll call it luck or timing, or something in your name. But legacy remembers ours that never made a claim. That's the difference. Legacy is built afterward, in the dark, in the small, in every tired decision to not let the standard fall. Legacy is built afterward, not loud but precise. It's the echo of discipline living on in someone else's life. Still showing up still choosing right, still building out of sight. Legacy is built after work. Legacy is built after work. Legacy is built after work. They're living what you left, not what you said. I didn't choose to replace him. I just stayed when the space appeared. His chair stayed empty, but the house didn't wait. Bills still knocked, time stayed late. I learned to answer questions I was never trained to know. I grew into silence before I grew into my bones. Someone had to stand, someone had to stay. I became my father's place, not his name, not his face. I feel the quiet where he used to stay. I became my father's place, too young but still I stood. I didn't become a man, I became what the house needed first.
responsibility doesn't act. If your age is right, I learned how to say later instead of what about me. I traded Dad. Why are you crying? I woke up for some water. The hallway light was on. You were sitting at the table like something had gone wrong. You said it was nothing. You smiled real quick, but tears don't lie, even when grown men do. I didn't know. Dad, why are you crying? Did I do something wrong? You held the world together for so long. Dad, why are you crying? You always seem so strong. I didn't know heroes could feel like this all alone. Say grown men don't break, they just get quiet instead. They carry storms in their chest so kids can sleep in their beds. Your hands shake for a second, then you wipe your face dry, like sadness is a rule you were taught to deny. You said you're fine. Dad, why are you crying? I thought tears meant defeat, but you never stopped showing up, even when you couldn't sleep. Dad, why are you crying? The house is still safe tonight. Maybe strong means holding pain out of sight. saw that night. You weren't breaking down, you were holding the line. You cried because you loved us, because leaving was easy. Staying took everything you had in you, your strength. Dad, why are you crying? Now I know the truth. You bled in silence, so we grew. Dad, why are you crying? Those tears were never weak. They were proof of the man you chose to be. You stayed. You stayed. You stayed. Thank you for not letting us see everything you carry. Chair doesn't move, but I do. Same chair, same corner, light hanging low. Everyone's asleep. That's when the silence grows. The house finally exhales. The clock starts to talk. This is where the day ends and the thinking walks. Every night every night the chair sitting every night knows the shape of my back. It holds the weight I've never unpacked. The chair sitting every night doesn't ask a thing, it listens while I carry tomorrow in my skin. I don't scroll, I don't speak, I just let the noise settle. Some men rest by leaving, I rest by staying level. The floor creaks like it remembers every step I take, like the house and I made a deal to not break. Still here, the chair sitting every night knows my quiet wars, the plans I never say out loud, the debts, the doors. The chair sitting every night holds more than my frame. It holds the man I became. One day someone will sit here without knowing why. It'll feel familiar, like a borrowed spine. They won't hear my thinking or see my doubt, but the calm will stay after a moment. That's how it stays. With chairs sitting every night is not a place to hide. It's where I decide how I'll show up outside. The chair I'm sitting every night is where the noise gets done, so the house can wake to a quieter sun. Still sitting, still choosing, still here. Still sitting, still holding, still clear. Chair I sit in every night. The chair I sit in every night. The chair I sit in every night. If the house feels steady, it's because I stay.
My dad's like a robot, never stopping. He wakes up at the same time, same shirt, same face, moves through the morning like a program page. No extra words, no wasted breath. Coffee keys the door. He doesn't ask how he feels. He's already late for more. Day after day, day after day. My dad's like a robot, never shuts down. He carries the weight without making a sound. My dad's like a robot, stealing his spine. He keeps everything running on borrowed time. He doesn't say I'm tired, he doesn't say I'm scared. He just keeps fixing things like damage isn't there. His hands are always working, even when he sits still. Like rest is a feature. He was never built to feel. No error code, no alarm. My dad's like a robot, built to endure. He absorbs the pressure so the house feels secure. My dad's like a robot, no cracks allowed. He breaks in silence, never out loud. One night I saw him freeze at the edge of the sink, hands shaking slightly, like a system trying to think. Then he wiped his face clean, reset his tone, went back to function like nothing was wrong. That's when I understood. My dad's like a robot, 'cause someone had to be the one who never crashes, so the rest stay free. My dad's like a robot, not because he can't feel, but because feeling everything would stop the wheel. Still running, still providing, still online. Still running, still protecting, still mine. My dad's like a robot, but I see the man under all the wiring, doing the best he can. My dad's like a robot till the night goes quiet. Then I hear his heart trying to stay compliant. Oh, Mom, don't feel. But my father learned how to hide it. After everyone fell asleep, I stayed away to make sure the world didn't fall apart. The hallway light is still on, like it knows I'll pass again. Doors closed, dreams protected by a tired man. Shoes by the wall, keys on the table, phone face down, no sound. This is where the noise ends and the weight comes down. After everyone fell asleep, I finally heard my sleigh. After everyone fell asleep, I sat with what I carry tomorrow quietly, so they can rest tonight. After everyone fell asleep, no masks, no roles to keep, just a man holding empty stands. After everyone fell asleep. I don't say how scared I get when the numbers don't align. I don't say how tired I am pretending I'm fine. They think strength is loud or breaking through walls, but mine lives in waiting and answering calls. I don't complain, I don't run. After everyone fell asleep, I bleed in discipline. I count the cost of loving and pay it again. After everyone fell asleep, I make my private peace. I fix what no one notices. After everyone fell asleep. One night I stopped calling it loneliness and called it proof instead that I stayed when leaving would have been easier said. This silence isn't empty, it's earned, it's deep. It's the sound of a promise I chose to keep. This is not weakness,
This is devotion. After everyone fell asleep, I stand guard in the dark. I hold the choir together like a work of art. After everyone fell asleep, I don't need to be seen. If tomorrow they wake safe, then tonight meant something. Still here, still standing, still choosing. Still here, still breathing, still providing. After everyone fell asleep, and I'll wear the smile again. I saw my father, 3 a.m. He thought the house was asleep. The TV glowed without a sound, blue light on his face, coffee cold, hands still working, trying to stay in place. He didn't hear the floorboard, he didn't turn around. Some men don't notice witnesses when they're holding the Glen. 3 a.m. 3 a.m. I saw my father at 3 a.m. sitting with his fear. He wore the weight of tomorrow like it belonged right here. I saw my father at 3 a.m. alone but standing tall. Some men don't sleep, they just guard it all. His shoulder spoke before his mouth, bent but not undone. The kind of tired you only earn when quitting isn't one. He rubbed his eyes like time was heavy, like minutes owed him rest. But rest has rules for fathers, and sleep comes second best. He didn't cry, he breathed. I saw my father at 3 a.m. counting what he'd lose if tomorrow went wrong or someone else got bruised. I saw my father at 3 a.m., making silent deals with a world that never sees how responsibility feels. Years later, I see myself in the same dim light, same chair, same quiet war, same hour of night. That night didn't scare me, it taught me who I'd be. Not loud, not flawless, just steady. It's how it passes on. I saw my father at 3 a.m. and I understand now. Strength is choosing to stay awake when the house is safe somehow. I saw my father at 3 a.m. Not broken, not alone. He was building the man I'd grow into on my own. Still awake, still choosing, still here. I saw my father at 3 a.m. I saw my father at 3 a.m. I saw my father at 3 a.m. He never knew I was watching.
I won't leave gold, I'll leave gravity.
I left my boots by the door so they know I came back. Left the lights on low so fear wouldn't crack. I fixed the hinge that never closed, didn't mention a word. Some things are meant to work without being heard. You won't see it, but you'll feel it. What I left in the house wasn't money or fame. It was the quiet arrangement of holding the frame. What I left in the house wasn't written down. It was the weight of protection, keeping walls on the ground. I left patience in the morning when things went wrong. Left calm in the evenings days were too long. I left my voice low when anger knocked, left the door open, but the value's locked. That's how it stays. What I left in the house was the habit of care, of checking twice, even when no one's there. What I left in the house was a standard, not fear, the kind you grow into year by year. One day you'll sit in my chair without realizing why. It'll feel familiar, like a borrowed spine. You'll protect without naming it, you'll stay without applause, and you won't know where it came from, but it was always yours. That's inheritance. What I left in the house was permission to stand when the world leans heavy on your hand. What I left in the house wasn't perfection or proof. It was the courage to remain when leaving felt smooth. Still steady, still kind, still here in time. What I left in the house, what I left in the house, what I left in the house. If you feel safe here, then I did my job. I wake up, and I do it again. Alarm rings like a warning. Another day begins. Same walls, same weight, same quiet wars within. No applause in the morning, no victory parade, just coffee, tired eyes, and promises I made. No reset, no escape, just forward. I wake up and I do it again. Carry the load, pretend I'm fine. I wake up and I do it again. put the world back on my spine. I wake up and I do it again. No one claps, no one knows. This is how a man survives, by standing up slow.
I eat my pride with breakfast, swallowed out with time. I've learned how to function while leaving dreams behind. Some days feel pointless, some nights don't end, but quitting is louder than the life I defend. So I don't quit. I wake up and I do it again. Same road, same demand. I wake up and I do it again, because someone needs this man. I wake up and I do it again. Not brave, just trained. Discipline taught me pain doesn't need a name. For a sign, for a change. Now I know meaning is built by surviving the same. Nobody saw me become this. Nobody taught me how. But consistency forged me into who I am now. That's the truth. I wake up and I do it again. Not because I'm strong, but because stopping would prove me wrong. I wake up and I do it again. This is how faith behaves. It doesn't scream miracles, it just stays. Still breathing, still standing, still here. Still tired, still moving,
Our sad legacies are built one morning at a time. I used to think my father was quiet because he had nothing to say. I was wrong. He woke before the morning, learned my name. Coffee black, shoulders tight. The house was warm because he was cold. Every single night. He never talked about the weight he carried, never asked to be understood. I thought silence meant distance. I was young, I misunderstood. He didn't explain, he didn't complain, he stayed. My father's silence is not empty, it's heavy with unseen scars. It's every word he swallowed whole so we could reach the stars. My father's silence is not empty, it's love that doesn't shout. Some men protect with open arms, some do without a sound. Watched him pay the world in patience, bills spread out like quiet threats. He folded fear into discipline and called that being a man. He fixed what broke without an audience, stood still when money ran thin. I thought strength looked like confidence, I didn't see it tucked within. No applause, no retreat, just presence. Father's silence is not empty, his pressure turned to ground. It's choosing to stay solid when everything shakes around. A father's silence is not empty, it's the weight he chose to keep, so the rest of us could dream at night while he stayed awake and wait. I grew older and learned the language of tired eyes and quiet breath. started carrying my own storms and bargaining with death. One night I sat alone in silence, and suddenly I knew the room felt just like his did. That's when the truth came through. Oh, oh, a father's silence is not empty. It's preparation, not escape. It's love that trains you quietly for weight you'll one day take. A father's silence is not empty. It's a lesson dressed as calm. He wasn't distant. He was strong for far too long. He didn't teach me with speeches. He taught me with time, by standing in the same place every single line. I didn't inherit his words, I inherited his spine. Still here, still standing, still providing, still here. Father's silence is not empty. The Father's silence is not empty. The Father's silence is not empty. It was full of love. I just learned to hear it late.
I rarely saw his face. What I remember is his back.
The back faced the morning, while I was still asleep. Footsteps careful, door not breathing, like it didn't want to wake the deep. Same shirt, shoulders low, like the world sat there. He left without a promise, but always came back anyway. He never turned around, he never complained. A father's back never asked to be lighter. It carries a light through silence and fire. A father's back bends but doesn't break. He stands in front of storms, so I don't shake. I never heard him say he was tired, but tired lived in the way he sat, in the pause before he answered, in the wait he never unpacked. He fixed the smallest broken things without asking for praise, like damage was his duty and repair was his fate. He carried it, he carried it. A father's back is where the pressure stays. Fear and doubt find a home between bone and days. A father's back never asked to be seen. It only wants the house to remain. One day I stood in the mirror, saw that shape again, my shoulders leaning forward like someone I'd known back then. I didn't learn it from words or lessons he gave. I learned it from watching what he chose to brave. That's how it passes on. A father's back is not distance or cold. It's love facing forward, so fear stays behind the door. A father's back is a shield, not a wall. He turns away from comfort so I can stand tall. Still standing, still holding, still here, still standing, still carrying, still near. A father's back, a father's back. If you never saw his face, it's because he was facing everything else.
Strength that never raised its voice. He never had to shout. The room already knew. Some men demand respect. He earned it by what he'd do. His presence settled chaos like night settles a flame. He didn't win with anger,
seconds. He listened louder than he spoke. Watch the fire cool itself. Some men fight to be seen. He protected everyone else. He never chased control. He mastered restraint. He understood power is knowing when you don't break. Let's authority. Strength that never raised its voice, never begged, never forced. It met the moment by standing stead. Strength that never raised its voice, built respect with discipline. Left a mark without leaving a scar. I thought strength was loud when I was young and afraid. Now I know it's the man who absorbs the weight. He never told us I'm strong, but he never collapsed. Some lessons I learned by watching a man last. That's the truth. Strength that never raised its voice, chose patience over choice. If silence had a spine, it would stand like him. Strength that never raised its voice, never asked to be crowned. It carried the crown without touching it. Still calm, still firm, still here. Still steady, still solid, still strength that never raised its voice. Strength that never raised its voice. That never raised its voice. Some power doesn't let go. It remains. Hey. You were never loud, but you were always there. You never flew through fire, never stood on a stage, but you came home tired day after day. Your hands told the story, your eyes stayed calm. You carried storms in silence, like that was normal. I didn't see it then. I see it now. Dad, you are my hero, even when you didn't know. You made the world feel steady, so I could grow. Dad, you are my hero, not in words you said, but in how you stood between me and what I feel. You never asked for thanks, you never asked for grace. You just showed up again and held your place. You taught me how to listen, how to wait, how to choose what matters over what feels great. That was strength. Dad, you are my hero, because you stayed real. You taught me discipline before you taught me how to feel. Dad, you are my hero, not perfect, just true. You showed me what a man is by what you do. Now I hear your voice in mine when I slow my tone. I see your shadow in my steps when I walk alone. I didn't become you overnight. It happened piece by piece, in patience and restraint, and in choosing peace. That's how it passes on. Dad, you are my hero, not because you won, but because you never left when leaving would have been done. Dad, you are my hero, and now I understand. You built a future quietly with your hands.
You stayed, you stood, you gave, you stayed, you stood, you gave. Dad, you are my hero. Dad, you are my Dad, you are my hero. If I ever become half the man you were, that will be enough.
Quiet hands held responsibility. His hands don't shake. They've learned the weight of holding days together. They don't reach for praise, they reach for work. No matter the weather, bills on the table, dreams on delay, promises folded, he never throws away. He doesn't complain, he adjusts. Quiet hands, heavy responsibility. He carries tomorrow so we can sleep peacefully. Quiet hands, heavy responsibility. He holds the world steady and calls it masculinity. He eats last, listens more than he speaks. He knows when silence is the strongest thing. He fixes what breaks, what can't be fixed. He absorbs the pressure, never listens. That's how men disappear into duty. Quiet hands, heavy responsibility. No medals, no mercy, just consistency. Quiet hands, discipline and calls it stability. I thought strength was loud, I was young and blind. Now I see it's the man who survives his own mind. He never said I'm tired, but his eyes did. He never said thank you, but he stayed anyway. That's love in uniform. Quiet hands, heavy responsibility. He traded his youth for our security. Quiet hands, heavy responsibility. If that's not love, tell me what love should be. Still waking, still calling, still calm, still choosing, still holding, still strong. Quiet head, heavy responsibility. Quiet hands, heavy responsibility. Quiet hands, heavy responsibility.
Some men save the world without making a sound.